Are carbs bad? No! What are carbs? Carbs is short for carbohydrates, which is a macronutrient. Carbohydrates, protein, and fat are the three macronutrients. And carbohydrates are found in foods like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, refined grains, sugars, and simple starches. And also dairy has natural sugars, which are carbohydrates. Are carbs bad? No! Like I said, all these different types of foods contain carbohydrates, so people lump together things like brownies, sugar, ice cream with foods like apples, oranges, a glass of milk. There's obviously very different nutrients going on in those two foods, right? There's not gonna be as lot of nutrients if you're sticking to those simple carbohydrates, whereas you go for more complex forms of carbohydrates and whole grains, you're gonna get a lot of nutrition in your diet. Vitamins, minerals, fiber, which is really important for your health and digestion, and also lots of really good sustained energy from those whole grain complex carbs. Will carbs make me fat? If you eat too much of anything, we will store that extra energy as fat in our bodies. But that goes with any nutrient. It's not specific to carbohydrates. As a food group, they are not evil. They're not designed to make you fat. They're designed to give you that sustained energy when we stick to choosing those healthy forms of carbs more often, and it really is your brain's preferred source of energy. Will carbs make me sleepy? Maybe, depending on when you're eating. There's a lot of myth around foods causing you to feel too sleepy, but when you think about choosing your carbs again, pair them with a little bit of fat and protein, and they're gonna give you that sustained energy that you need and want, so you don't get that energy spike and then crash as if you just ate a bunch of sour candy. Will carbs make my muscles bigger? Probably not, but again, when we think about sports nutrition, we think about protein a lot. But the thing is, athletes also need carbs because your muscles stores carbohydrate in the form of glycogen. And then that's what you're able to run off of when you're running a marathon or a shorter race. Like, your body will tap into those energy stores in your muscles, but you're not gonna get super huge muscles from eating carbohydrates. Which foods have carbs, which don't? So carbs are found in a lot of different foods. Your fruits, your vegetables, any type of grain or rice, pasta, bread, all have carbohydrates. Even milk has carbohydrates because there's a natural sugar in milk called lactose. Foods that don't have any carbohydrates are gonna be your oils. So olive oil, any type of cooking oil. Fish doesn't have any carbs in it. So most typical protein foods that we think about, plant-based proteins, which are really good for you, do usually have a mix of protein and carbs when we're thinking about beans, and again, whole grains. Nuts even have a little bit of carbs, but they're pretty low. Will carbs constipate me? So that's another good question. So when you think about carbs that have fiber, they're gonna be your whole grains, your fruits, your vegetables. Carbs that don't have fiber, white rice, other refined grains, a white bread, that's not gonna help you because it doesn't have fiber. So if you are constipated, you wanna slowly add fiber back into your diet. You don't wanna get too much at once. If you're doing a really low carb diet, that's when you can actually get constipated because you're cutting out those healthy forms of carbs that have fiber, which is gonna help keep you regular. Where do carbs go in your body? What happens when you eat carbohydrates, whether you're eating those good for you complex carbs or a more simple form of carbs, is your body breaks it down into simple sugar. Because again, your brain wants to run on carbohydrates and its preferred source of energy is glucose. So your digestive system works to break down those carbohydrates into glucose so that you can send it into your blood, and then your muscles and your brain are able to use that glucose in your blood for energy. Pair those carbohydrates with fiber, protein, and fat. Those are the three key nutrients that will help slow down that quick absorption of sugar into the blood and give you that more sustained, long-lasting energy and prevent those energy spikes and crashes. How many carbs should I eat in a day? I can't really tell you an exact number here if that's what you're looking for, but the general guidance around carbohydrates is that they should make up 45 to 65% of your diet. But like we already learned, carbs are found in a lot of foods. So it's not just that you're gonna eat a diet that's 50% bread. You have to account for the carbohydrates that are in those other foods like your vegetables, fruits, even your milk. Which carbs are good for people with diabetes? People with diabetes should still eat carbohydrates. That's important because a lot of times people find out they have diabetes and they think they need to cut carbs completely, and it's not true. You wanna focus on the good for you carbohydrates. So things like whole grains, fruits, and vegetables. The other thing is you need to limit the amount you have at each meal. Usually you'll decide upon an amount with your healthcare team, so talk to your doctor, your nurse, or a registered dietitian, and then try to eat that amount throughout the day so that your blood sugar levels stay steady. I'm way over on carbs. What do I do? First things first, do not beat yourself up. Do not feel guilty. It happens to all of us where we overeat, especially in one food group. One thing that's great for your blood sugar if you've eaten too many carbs is to take a walk. Just taking a walk can help get your blood sugar down into a more normal level. Is it dangerous to mix fats and carbs? No. You actually should be combining food groups more often than not to get, one, a lot of variety into your diet because it's gonna give you more nutrients, and two, when you pair fat, especially a healthy fat with carbohydrates, it's gonna slow down that absorption of blood sugar. So you're not gonna get that quick spike, you're gonna get a more steady rise because the fat that you're eating takes longer to digest, so it's just gonna help slow everything down in your system. I'm on a low carb diet and I'm not losing weight. Why? Some common mistakes people make when they try to lose weight, especially if they're cutting way down on carbs, is they're not eating enough food. Your body kind of can sense if you're really restricting, and then it wants to hold on to every calorie that you give it, right? Like your metabolism just slows down. You need to kind of fuel that fire. So maybe it's not so much any mistake you're making, but that you're just cutting too much out. If I'm looking for a low carb snack, what should I reach for? Nuts, olives, vegetable sticks, cut up some cucumbers, dip it in a guacamole or dip it in hummus, and nuts and seeds make a really good snack. They're good in healthy fats and fiber. Oh, that was the last one. So if you have more questions, let me know in the comments below. Also, please like, subscribe, and share to our channel. If you want to hear more nutrition Q&A about the Mediterranean diet, click here. Or if you're interested in learning more about any of our topics, click here.